So often when I get a chance to speak with other entrepreneurs and clinic owners and discuss their business, and just to find out that the number one thing, the number one funnel that is stopping their business from growing is them.
Welcome to the FlowScribe podcast, a show where we help you grow your clinic with practical tips for marketing, client support, and building treatment programs that you can passively use to turn your clients into raving fans and a referral army.
Hey, this is Doc Yates. This is the FlowScribe podcast brought to you by FlowScribe.com. And today we want to talk about how you can focus on your strengths to grow your business faster. And this is just what I was talking about earlier, is that it's so often that the business owner becomes the funnel step from growth. And it's my analogy would kind of be like how dad jokes start. Like dads, before they were dads, were probably way funnier than the dad jokes were. But because they had kids and they had to adapt to be funny for kids, and all of a sudden their kids grew up faster than their jokes adapted, and all of a sudden as their kids were growing up, they were still doing these cheesy dad jokes and no one finds them funny anymore. Now let's think about that for your business. When you start your business, you start by doing everything yourself. You are the chief cook, bottle washer, you're doing everything. But as your business grows, you still get stuck doing everything. You're still stuck telling dad jokes, and it's growing faster than you anticipated, and now you kind of hit this plateau. And you can't figure out, you're like, everything I did before, this is how I grew the business. And that's great. That's what starts the business, but that is not what grows the business past just the starting point. And we want to discuss how can you just go back to focusing on what your strengths are and still let your business grow so that you're not doing 50 things. You should be doing one or two things. I remember when I first started and thinking and first hiring people, I'm like, this is my business. Like, I can't really expect them to work harder than me. So if I hire this one person, chances are, am I really going to get out of it what I think that I'm putting into it, or what I'm paying, or because you just have so much value and so much work that you've brought to getting it to this point. And then you get sometimes you get a few bad hires, and it just kind of reconfirms this like bias that you already had. Because bad hires, they do happen. Like, not everybody you get is going to be a rock star. So when that is the case, and you start thinking, I was right. Definitely no one cares about this as much as I do. I'm just going to keep doing everything. And there's just so many steps to do. You've got your marketing. You've got your sales. You've got your scheduling. You've got the greeting. You've got the treating, the documenting, the billing, the reschedules, the program development, the follow-ups, the referrals. It becomes, once you start to develop a heavier load of clients, you can't keep up. And then what happens is, because you can't keep up, the level of service that you bring, your own skills that you are supposed to be the one bringing, starts to fail. And people will pick up on this, and all of a sudden, even what you were doing before to grow your clinic will not be growing it as well as what it was doing. So, and will probably do more, and you probably can do better than another person who doesn't care as much about your business as you do. But do you think that you can do more than 2, 3, 4, 5, 10? Not likely, especially with all of those tasks. So you need to stop thinking so small-minded and think about how you're going to really grow this. Now, the one thing that you do need to be the best at is your own skill set. You have to be, if you're a chiropractor, you've got to have the best hands in the area. That's going to help. You need to be the best adjuster, the best one at figuring out what the imbalances are. If you do acupuncture, same thing, the best one figuring out the imbalances, and then the treatment points and the programs associated with that. But you don't need to be the best marketer. You don't need to be the best salesperson. You don't need to be the best office admin. All of those things. So number one, start thinking about when you need something done in your business. And this is a quote from a book. I believe the author's name was Benjamin Hardy. It's a great book, and I'm recommending that you check it out. It's called Who, Not How. Who would be the person? When you want to ramp up your referrals, you want to ramp up your reviews, you want to ramp up your programming, you want to ramp up all of those things. Start saying, okay, if I can double down and focus on what I need to do, who can I get to do these? Because there's people who focus, the people who take that same amount of focus, all the focus that you have in chiropractic, there are people that have that focus in just marketing. There's people who have just that focus in sales, in design, in ads. There's people who literally their only focus is just building Facebook ads. And when you start working with teams that focus in the type of growth that you need, then you will see it. So number one, think about who, not how. Who can I get to help me grow this business, as opposed to how can I do this by myself? How can I put on one more hat to take care of all of these things? The second thing is, like I said earlier, double down on your focus. When you start getting other people to do jobs for you, it will free up your time. This will allow you to do more growth within your field, possibly go to more seminars, learn more techniques, more interesting concepts. Now, obviously, as we all know, human physiology does not change, and a lot of the techniques we already know are enough, but by learning more new techniques, clients like to see that you're learning new things, and people are attracted to the new. So sometimes that you're going to be using new things, knowing that you're still working on the same old principles to get the results, but that does help a lot for business growth and client growth. The third thing that you need to remember is that you still need to be focusing on treating the whole body. Now, this is important too, when we talk about programming. If you're a massage therapist and someone's coming to you for a shoulder issue, but then you find out that that shoulder is also arthritis related, you need to work with the alignment and the musculature, but you also need to work with the inflammatory condition and the underlying creation of inflammation. If you're a chiropractor and you're dealing with plantar fasciitis, but it turns out it's also related because the person has a low thyroid that's creating this extra muscle tension, you need to be able to address and have programs to address these things. You need to be able to address the whole body, the diet, the nutrition, the endocrinology, the alignment, the structure. And this is where even you can delegate the program creation. You can have teams focused on the other aspects of the program that you can just use passively. So you just get the programs and you get to use them passively for every client that's struggling with these types of imbalances. And 4, use a combination of automation and delegation. So there's a lot of things that require more thought, a little bit more of a human interaction, but still don't necessarily mean that it needs to be you doing it. So this is where people really like that one-on-one. If someone's calling your office, it's got to be a human answering the phone. People they get so frustrated when you have to, say your name, and you say your name, and it's say it again. It's people, for some things, they want to speak to a real human, but you can still hire external teams and delegate external teams to do this. This is what FlowScribe is all about. And then the next question is, what are the little tasks that you need to start just automating instead? A perfect example, if you're not doing this already, a lot of your follow-ups, all of your scheduling, there should definitely be some sort of online automated scheduling set up. And all of your files, all of your file work should be switched so that if you're still using paper files, it's really slowing you down. I remember early in practice, I had someone who was hired, and their job that I was paying them every day was just to put away the files and then bring out the new files each day. That was the majority of their work, was just filing. And I really did not want to switch to, electronic files just because I was scared. Because I was actually scared because I was I can't type that fast. I'm not going to be able to do this. And I was trying all of these things, and eventually I just started, and then I realized, this is 10 times faster. And when someone comes in, I just open my laptop, click on their name, there's the file right in front of you. So a lot of these little things that you might be scared of, you might be afraid of, that's another thing that we're here to help you with. If you have any questions, we can help guide you along this way, because we've done this in our clinics. We've done this for other clinics. And we can help you with these stages, because there's so many little things and so many little growth hacks and things to help guide you to make this as smooth as possible. And it's one of those things that the change for you might be the one who's kind of anxious about it, but all of a sudden your clients, you will start hearing from clients being like, oh, I really like this new system. Oh, this is really convenient for me. Oh, I can change my own appointment. That's amazing. Or thanks for the follow-up. Oh, that email that you sent about how to boost my immune system last Wednesday, that was great. And you know what? I'm going to share that with my sister because her kid has this issue. All of these things can be done, and we can delegate and automate that with the use of FlowScribe. So remember, focus on your strengths. Nail those down. And when you do that, you're not going to burn yourself out from working with clients, and you'll be able to keep this practice growing faster and longer than you ever anticipated. I hope this was helpful. This is Doc Yates signing off.
Thanks for tuning in to the FlowScribe podcast. To learn how FlowScribe can help build your clinic, go to flowscribe.com.